Peace family, peace family. Welcome back to the Chef Joseph's Kick Sauce for Entrepreneurs channel. Today is Tuesday, August 12th. Tuesday, August 12th. The title of this video today, don't have a straight title yet. Let's see, kind of flowing with it. But is customer service in a restaurant, or is restaurant customer service gone to you know where? Or you could say customer service in restaurants, some restaurants, have gone to flops. You know, I look at, it's just, it amazes me because it's like the customer service in restaurants, some restaurants that is, has gone. It has gone to shambles. Not all restaurants, let's make that perfectly clear. But in a large portion of these restaurants, the customer service is gone. You know, a couple times, don't judge me, I've stopped at McDonald's because I tend to like their cheeseburgers. I understand every now and then, you know, I may have a taste for one. And I typically like extra onions, you know, because I love their dehydrated onions. You know, I just like them. And you make this perfectly clear to the person taking the order: 2 cheeseburgers with extra onions. You get the cheeseburgers, no onions at all. Like, who does that? You know, then you have to go back around, circle around back through the drive-thru, and you tell them again, and I kid you not, the order was incorrect 2 times. And the ticket clearly says extra onions. And I'm like, come on. I mean, it's right there. And it's like, spending money these days in restaurants, it can be a hit or miss. Because I honestly believe some people that is, do not care about, they just don't care about food preparation. They just put the stuff together and just slide it out the window. That's not cool at all. You know, when you spend your hard-earned money and you're working, you know what I'm saying, to make money, and then you patronize restaurants, the experience may not be 100% all the time, but at least if the cashier or someone is trying to make the order right, then yeah, that's, you know, give them some credit for that. But man, I don't know about y'all, but I am sick and tired of spending money and the customer service is horrible. You know, I was just at a restaurant not too long ago, a couple of days ago, and you know, I was like, okay, I ordered an appetizer, then I ordered a grilled chicken and broccoli Alfredo without the chicken. Getting back away, you know, don't eat a lot of meat, but the grilled chicken and broccoli Alfredo without the chicken. So I specifically told the waitress, you know, I was like, you know, I don't want the appetizer to come out at the same time as the food, because y'all know they famous for that. They just slide it on the table. You didn't even get a chance to enjoy the appetizer, and they done put both of the plates on the table. Yeah, that's a little cheating. You know, you should be able to enjoy your appetizer, then your meal comes. So I simply told the waitress, hey, just don't send them out at the same time. So I finished my appetizer, and I'm sitting there right in front of her face, and it was like almost 12, 13, 14 minutes went by, and I politely said to her, I said, ma'am, if the food is not ready yet, then I'll just pay for my appetizer and then I'll leave. She copped the attitude with me. Well, you supposed to let me know, when you wanted to order. I was like, I told you what I was going to order when I first sat down. I made it perfectly clear. That this is what I wanted and when I wanted it. So she cops the attitude with me, telling me that I was wrong. I'm supposed to let her know, and you know how that goes. It's not going to go good with me personally because I'm spending the money. And two, I am very rational. But one thing I don't do, I hate when people lie and try to blow it up like it's like a whole new situation, like, just set it off like it's the end of the world and all this kind of stuff. And that was far from it. By the time it was over with, she storms off in the back, and here come the manager. Oh, what's wrong? And I'm like, and I'm kind of, as a customer, I'm explaining to him what happened. Well, she wouldn't be upset for no reason. All right. So you stepping in on the tail end, and I guess I'm the one that made her upset. It's not my problem. She can't, if she can't handle correction, constructive criticism. It wasn't anything negative at all. It was just that it was, you got it wrong. I just kindly told the manager I just wanted to pay for my food and leave. And I tell you, man, the situation didn't go too good. I mean, I was good, but still, like, you're not going to paint me to be this angry person because I'm speaking up about my food. And I wasn't being disrespectful. It wasn't any type of profanity or anything like that. It was simply checking him for sticking up for her, and he won't nowhere around. And you don't know, you coming in on the tail end on this thing, and you're not going to paint me to be some angry customer here. See what I'm saying? And people famous for that, you know what I mean? Right? As my mentor say, you dig? So, yeah, you dig? So, yeah. But the customer service today, a lot of it is going to shambles. Yeah, it's sad. And I don't know about y'all, but like, I am so over giving my money to people who don't appreciate me. I am so over spending my money and the waitress has an attitude. Not because you're doing anything wrong. It could be for various reasons. And this attitude clearly shows on their face and how they handle you as a customer. But you're expected to tip. How is that going to work? How does that work? How do you even tip someone who has showed you treatment and treatment and negative treatment in certain areas? How do you even picture yourself to even tip someone like that? That is a very awkward position. I'm telling you, like, if I could say that is an awkward position to be in, because you want to tip. You didn't come there not to tip. You want to enjoy your meal. You want everything to go smooth. But then when you're treated a certain way, you expected to tip. Well, if you don't tip at all, the word get around, oh, they don't even tip. But they don't tell you about the behavior that produced you not wanting to tip. You're going to tell the story, tell it all the way. But like I said again, like, I am so done of spending my money with people and places, that don't appreciate me. If you're gonna be a waitress or be a server, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got to learn to put your feelings on the back burner. How do I know? I've done it. And yeah, sometimes customers can be over the top. But at the end of the day, you got to definitely have tough skin. And it's not, you got to have tough skin, and you try to meet the customer and try to make them happy. Try to please the customer as much as you can. But all this free stuff, yeah, we don't do that either. Yeah, So yeah, I just wanted to kind of drop that in just to let y'all know, like, pay, if you're gonna spend your money with a restaurant or servers who treat you with respect as a customer, and I'm just gonna say it like this: I don't tip people that treat me any kind of way. I don't care. If you're gonna treat me any kind of way and your disposition says such, hey, cut the wood, let the chips fall where they may. You can say what you want to say, but one thing I'm not gonna do is pay for bad service. Who does that? So to all y'all waitresses and waiters and all that servers out here, make sure you treat your customers with respect. And I know in the situation I was in, it was like, man, this woman blew the whole thing out, want to put it on me, and I simply made very plain what I wanted. And she's going to flip it off like I miscommunicated. No, you miscommunicated, because I knew what I wanted when I sat down. Don't forget, I'm in the business as well. So I know how this thing works, but I definitely wanted to share that with y'all is basically stop spending your hard-earned money with places who don't appreciate you, and I know with my schedule, I tend to eat out a little bit much because I do work in the day, and then I do a lot as well. And so once I finish work, I'm not trying to cook, what I'm saying? I'm trying to just grab something and just kind of shut it down for the evening. But yeah, just be mindful of that, of when you spend your money with businesses and stuff. And it doesn't have to necessarily be a restaurant, just businesses in particular. Because if you're giving your money to people that's taking your dollar, what I'm saying, they need to be, they need to treat you with a certain level of respect, as a paying customer. What I'm saying? And so yeah, they need to check their attitudes at the door. What I'm saying? But that's one of the things I've definitely gained. Like I said, I'm tired of spending my money with folks, and then you go back to give them a second chance, and it just seems like it doesn't get better. And unfortunately, the way the world is spinning now, yeah, sometimes people just don't like you just because you can eat at fine places. I'm not saying everybody, I'm just saying some. What I'm saying? And it's very unfortunate, what I'm saying? Because I do like to go to different places to eat out. I like the different experiences to be able to sit down and just kind of chill out while I can have my meal prepared. But at the end of the day, don't expect me to tip if you're not treating me with a certain level of respect, So anyway, be mindful of that, family. Pay attention to these waiters and waitresses and how they treat you. And if your food comes out any type of way, what I'm saying, don't be afraid to speak up. Like when I was in culinary school, that reminds me of something. When I was in culinary school, we had a class, we were graded on they called it plate presentation. We were graded on plate presentation. And when you go through in culinary school, you start understanding that people can tell the difference if you just throw your food on the plate and push it out the window, or if it's neatly prepared, if it's prepared with some type of grace and some type of effort. A customer can tell the difference. And I don't know about y'all, but I don't like no one just throwing food on my plate. You know what I'm saying? You want it to look presentable. Plate presentation. And so definitely, that's one thing I definitely pay attention to, is how the plate is presented. Because it says a lot about the chef in the back, the cooks in the back, whether they take pride in their work, and that's another thing, But at the end of the day, don't spend your money with these waiters and waitresses who treat you any kind of way, because that's it. And if you got to walk out without paying a tip, leaving a tip, hey, they brought it on themselves. And I do believe in tipping, I do. But I do not believe in tipping for bad service. So I'm going to leave y'all with that. And like and subscribe to this channel. Go over to the shorts as well. You see some of the plates that we put out. And pay attention to the plate presentation as well. We do pretty good with our plate presentations, but yeah, but you'll be able to see some of the ways we plate our food up to make sure it's presentable, even though it's done in certain type of trays. But however, we make sure that it's presentable to the customer. All right, so like and subscribe to this channel, and go to the shorts and check out some of the plates we push out, and pay attention to the plate presentation, how neatly the plates are put together. It's not just thrown on the plate for the customers to see. But anyway, I'm glad y'all came back to check the channel out. You know what I'm saying? We will do a deep dives on entrepreneurships and things like that as well. So y'all have a wonderful day, and yeah, stay positive. You know what I'm saying? And if you're an entrepreneur, keep pushing. Do not give up. All right, I'm out of here. I got to get my day started. I'm trying to think what time it is. It's probably after 7 o'clock a.m. Yeah, I'm running a little late this morning. I actually slept in, something I needed to do, because you definitely have to take care of yourself, okay? All right, don't spend money with people who don't care about your service. Thank you.